Okay, James, I'm going to show you how we set up the Rigid 300 power drive with the threading attachments. We can thread that gas main later on today. I know you've worked with residential gas fitting, probably lots of small diameter copper, maybe flaring and that type of thing. But for the capacities we have on this job, we're going to need to thread some black iron. So I've got a threading attachment set up here on the support arms. It's the carriage that has all the different parts and pieces. Have you threaded any iron pipe before?
Just a little bit.
Okay, are you familiar with any of these attachments then?
Yeah, we got a die head here, it looks like.
Yeah, that's a universal die head. So there's certain pipe sizes that share the same thread count.
Right, looks like it does 1 inch to 2 inch or something.
Yep, that'll do 1 inch to 2 inch exactly. And then we usually have another die head that we'll set up because they're 14 threads per inch for 3/4 and 1/2 inch pipe.
Gotcha.
So usually we'll change those in and out. But
and then this is the reamer.
That's the reamer, yeah. Straight.
Not that familiar with this reamer. Can you show me how it engages?
Sure. This one engages by extending it fully, and then you'll give it a little quarter turn back towards yourself.
Okay.
That locks it into position.
Okay.
Okay, so then you'll be able to travel this forward, ream the pipe out to the full bore, and then just extend it, flip it out of your way. So the nice thing about this carriage is everything drops down, drops back, right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
Pretty functional for lots of site fabrication work. We got a manual handheld oiler, so I've got that sump full of oil, and make sure you've got lots of flow there so that we don't get too much friction on the chasers.
Okay.
Okay, here's our cutting attachment. Just make sure we don't cut too quickly and break the wheel. And what we're going to need to do is set up the die head so that we've got it just right, be able to get that 3.5 turns by hand, 3.5 turns by hand, so that we've got it exactly where we want it. We've got a foot switch down here that acts as a remote on-off switch. We call it a dead man switch because it's a safety item in case we do get caught up in the machine. We just need to take our foot off and we're
There's a forward and reverse somewhere here too?
Yeah, there's forward and reverse down here. Make sure that you're in forward when you're threading.
Okay.
Reverse will be for grooving operations sometimes. We'll work on that tomorrow maybe. And again, you just want to make sure that you don't have any loose materials, any loose clothing, jewelry, that type of thing hanging in around the machine because it is a hazard, okay? Make sure you got stable footing. We've got some dry zorb in the ground. Sometimes packing material can assist with that too. So let's try running a thread on this. I'm just going to cut it square. Okay, so I'm just going to drop this down. We're just going to trim a piece off. I'm not taking a measurement right now because it's not critical. We're just going to set up the machine. Okay. So I'm going to step on the switch. Okay, once that's cut nice and square, I'm going to ream it out to the full bore. Then I'm going to drop down the die head and engage with the chasers, and we'll try running it flush to the end of the chasers and see what kind of thread we're left with. Right?
Okay. So you always ream it out before you thread it?
Absolutely, yeah. Always ream before you thread because we're left with a really kind of a fine point because of the bevel on the thread, the taper on the thread. So it's gonna, as a matter of fact, if we were to ream it later, we'd wind up probably damaging the end, right?
Okay.
Okay. So the nice thing about this universal die head is that it's also quick opening.
Right.
So that once I finish the thread, I'm able to just open it and I don't have to reverse the machine, right? So then I can throw that out of the way, clean off any residual oils, and we should have a good thread. So we'll count that coming off. 1, 2, a little bit tight. We might want to just take that down a little bit. So when I get you to try it out, we're going to reset it for just a little bit underneath and see if we can get another turn on by hand, okay?
Okay.
Want to try it out?
Yeah, you bet.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
That's okay, that happens sometimes. You just bit a little bit into the thread. Just go ahead and cut back about 1 inch and we'll be good. No problem. Oh, I know what it is. I think you got the machine in reverse. Oh shit, yeah. There you go, man. Somebody must have been grooving on it. Okay, try that again. Let's see if we can get it going this time. There you go. That's better.
That's better, yeah.
Yeah, if that ever happens again, always just check to make sure you've got it in forward.
Gotcha.
Happens all the time.
Okay.
Watch yourself. That's looking pretty good. Looks like you've done this before. Okay, let's take this piece back upstairs and I'll start showing you where we're going to lay out this afternoon, okay?
Excellent.
Okay, let's go.